Hi! Good morning everyone! This is Ruth Mission Abuan, your senior vlogger. I tackle all possible issues of today and even that of yesterday and tomorrow as long as it is worth knowing and sharing. If you did not subscribe to this channel yet, please subscribe now and click the bell button to keep updated of new videos in case I cannot send the link promptly to you. Like and you may leave a message as I gladly acknowledge and welcome all sorts of interest. Please do not rely your safety on data of infected individuals. Whether there is a surge or not, it is our responsibility to protect and keep ourselves safe by strictly following health protocols and best hygiene possible. During this extraordinary and uncertain time, everyone would like to think that all this were just dreams and would wake up to something better and stable. On the other hand, we need to accept the fact that there are times when we can control of what is to come. What is certain is our faith that we truly have a God bigger than any problem we are facing and experiencing at the moment. The battle against COVID-19 is not over. Whether health authorities will announce a sudden drop or surge of data on infected COVID-19 patients, this does not make a difference. COVID-19 is still here and the strain is mutated to a stronger spike that leads to more contagion and more infection. Whether or not the Department of Health's data is reliable, it is understood by medical authorities that any positive asymptomatic individual is considered and categorized as infected individual. This means the virus, being an infectious agent inside that human host, has no ability to replicate not until the immune system of the host is overpowered by the microorganisms. Early symptoms include fever, cough, body aches, and shortness of breath. These symptoms appear as early as the second day of exposure to the virus. These symptoms appear as early as the second day of exposure to the virus to as long as 14 days. This is the standard mechanism of how the virus is infecting a human host. Somehow, there are different and predictable reactions on COVID-19 that leads to an intriguing data and patient's response that eventually leads to different arguments by the medical and research authorities. One thing for sure though, the strain is not weakening and people begins to mistrust health authorities, which leads to blaming the government for a problem not fully understood. The advice to quarantine a patient is the possibility of escalating the infection. If a positive tested individual does not show symptoms or remain asymptomatic after a prescribed day of quarantine, the patient can be declared healed or recovered. There may be traces of COVID-19 substrates, which means traces of COVID-19 protein is detected, considered as inactive, and does not cause contagion of the disease. All of this is heading to unstable result. The reason why patients should submit twice to the tests. Again, higher data on recovered patients does not mean we are safe. Please maintain the observance of health protocols and should be our way of life from now on. CDC or Center for Disease Control and Prevention Center recommended two kinds of tests for COVID-19, the viral test and antibody test. on which two tests are currently used in the Philippines. The viral test will tell you if you have a current infection. An antibody test will detect past infection, whether symptomatic or asymptomatic in origin. Too much controversy is taking place on when to use the test. If my opinion will be considered, I rather not use antibody tests to check current infection, as at the onset of infection, our immune system is not immediately sending signals for antibodies to counter-attack the infection. It would take 1 to 3 weeks after the infection for our body to manufacture antibodies, depending on the immune system. Negative result of the test does not necessarily mean you are not infected. This leads to conclude that antibody test is not recommended to test whether patient is currently infected. Having antibodies to the virus that causes COVID-19 might provide protection from getting infected with the virus. As to how long, researchers cannot promise longevity of the immunity, as the virus has unpredictable response to every human host. Days ago, I was dismayed by Senator Cynthia Villar's not only an out-of-touch but insensitive comment to our tired and weary health workers. Such comment to work harder in reply to the request of another lockdown due to the upsurge of the number of infection, Senator Cynthia Villar dismissed her comment by saying that it is not intended for the frontliner but instead for the higher government officials responsible for this program. Ma'am, whatever that is in your heart and mind, the damage has been done. It has been done twice. It had been done twice to the health sector. I beg of you to shut up. You did harm than good. Just continue with your pabahay program where you make credit a name. President Duterte declared another MECQ in Metro Manila, in Mega Manila, in response to the cry of our exhausted health workers. Since the country is in severe economic setback, instead of ECQ, it was declared MECQ to balance economy and health. He also announced his sentiment and resentment over the reaction of the health sector as to how they handle the pressure. A reminder to all of us, as part of our anxiousness and tension and pressure of what is happening, we tend to be sensitive. Let us then be careful with our words, our body, especially our heart. Everyone is tired of coronavirus. Everyone is tired of COVID-19, but this is not the time to surrender. We will fight until the end. Keep safe, everyone. Keep safe, Philippines. Keep safe, world. God bless us. See you until my next video.